Silence unnerves the ambitious and unsettles the guilty. When you withhold your words, you force others to reveal themselves. Power, sometimes, is simply the art of letting silence speak for you. You find yourself in a world of noise, a cacophony of voices that promise much yet deliver little. Every day, you are bombarded with the relentless chatter of others, the endless stream of opinions and advice. Each word, a layer of the illusions you wrap yourself in. But amidst this noise, your silence screams louder, revealing the depths of your discontent, your hidden fears, the reality you refuse to face. You cling to the comforting lies, the idealistic beliefs that tell you the world is fair, that good things come to those who wait, and that virtue is its own reward. But deep down, you know the truth is far uglier. A truth you've been too afraid to acknowledge. The world is not the fairy tale you've been led to believe. It's a battlefield, and you are unarmed. You've been living under the false assumption that honesty and kindness will protect you, that by showing your vulnerability, you'll be met with understanding and compassion. But look around. Has this been the case, or have you found yourself exploited, your weakness used against you, your hopes dashed by the harsh realities of human nature? You've been blind to the true nature of power. You've been conditioned to believe in a moral code that doesn't exist outside the confines of your mind. You've been taught to value harmony, to shy away from confrontation, to avoid the ruthless game of power at all costs. But this conditioning has left you weak, a pawn in a game you don't even realize you're playing. You've been molded by society, by culture, by the comforting lies of those who seek to keep you in check. The hard truth is that power doesn't care about morality. Influence isn't gained through kindness, but through strategy and foresight. Those who wield power understand the importance of perception, the necessity of silence. They know that words can betray you, that every utterance is a potential weapon to be used against you. They understand that true strength comes from within, from the ability to control yourself and your environment without revealing your hand. Your silence, then, becomes your greatest ally. It is not a sign of weakness, but a strategic choice, a deliberate decision to withhold your thoughts, your plans, your emotions from those who would use them against you. By remaining silent, you deny others the ammunition they need to control you. You become an enigma, unpredictable and therefore powerful. You create space for yourself to observe, to analyze, to understand the dynamics at play without being vulnerable to the whims of others. But there is a cost to your current path, a price you pay for your naivety and passivity. Every moment, you choose to remain blind to the realities of power. You sentence yourself to a life of mediocrity, of being controlled rather than controlling. You sacrifice your potential, your ability to shape your destiny. You become a victim, not of others, but of your own refusal to see the world as it is. It's time to awaken, to shed the illusions that have kept you bound. This is not a call for emotional healing. This is a demand for transformation. This is about reclaiming your power, not through force or aggression, but through strategic silence and calculated action. You must learn to observe without being observed, to move without being seen, to influence without being noticed. Your silence must become your shield, your most potent weapon in a world that thrives on noise. This is your choice. Continue to be dominated, to live a life dictated by others, or rise above. Reclaim your power and shape your destiny. The path is clear, the strategy laid bare. Your silence must speak volumes. Your actions must be decisive, your resolve unyielding. The time for illusions is over. Embrace the cold, brutal truth of power. and let your silence echo louder than any words could ever convey. You stand on the precipice of change, teetering between the comfort of ignorance and the harsh clarity of enlightenment. The choice is yours. Yet the path forward demands more than just a decision. It demands a transformation, a shedding of the skin that has kept you bound to a life of silent desperation. You must become the architect of your own fate, crafting a life defined not by the expectations of others, but by your own unyielding will. To do this, you must first dismantle the illusions that have clouded your vision. You must confront the uncomfortable truth that the world is not a place of inherent fairness or justice. It is a realm where power is the currency, and influence the means to an end. Those who rise to the top do so not because they are the most deserving, but because they understand the rules of the game. Rules that you have been too blind or too fearful to acknowledge. You've been conditioned to believe that humility and modesty will earn you respect, that by keeping your head down and working diligently, you will eventually be rewarded. But this is a lie. A comforting narrative spun by those who benefit from your compliance. In reality, the world rewards those who are bold, those who are unafraid to assert their presence, to demand what they believe is rightfully theirs. Yet, this does not mean you must become loud or brash. On the contrary, true power often resides in the quiet, in the ability to listen more than you speak, to observe more than you react. Your silence becomes a form of strength, a deliberate choice to conserve your energy for moments that truly matter. To speak only when your words will have the greatest impact, you must cultivate an aura of mystery, a presence that commands attention even in silence. Let your silence be a canvas upon which others project their assumptions, their fears, their desires. In doing so, you gain insight into their motivations, their weaknesses, their plans. You become the observer, the strategist, the one who sees the full board while others focus only on their next move. This is not about manipulation. It is about empowerment. It is about taking control of your narrative, about ensuring that your silence is not mistaken for acquiescence, but recognized as a calculated choice. It is about crafting a persona that is both impenetrable and compelling, one that draws others in while keeping them at a distance, always uncertain, always guessing. But to maintain this power, you must be vigilant. You must guard against the temptation to revert to old habits, to fill the silence with words that betray your inner thoughts, your vulnerabilities. You must resist the urge to seek validation from others, to measure your worth by their standards. Your value is intrinsic, rooted in your unwavering commitment to your own principles, your own vision. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to refine your strategy, to test your limits, to assert your influence. You must learn to navigate the complexities of human nature, to understand the subtle cues that reveal more than words ever could. You must become adept at reading between the lines, at discerning truth from deception, at recognizing when silence speaks louder than any proclamation. This is your path, your journey toward mastery of self and environment. It requires discipline, a relentless pursuit of knowledge, a willingness to embrace discomfort and uncertainty, but the rewards are immeasurable. You gain autonomy, the freedom to shape your own destiny, to live a life defined not by the expectations of others, but by your own indomitable will. So stand firm in your silence. Let it be the foundation upon which you build your empire. Let it be the force that propels you forward, that shields you from the noise and chaos of a world that seeks to define you. Embrace the power of your silence, and let it speak volumes in a world that has forgotten the value of listening. The choice is yours, and the time is now. Reclaim your power, and let your silence echo for all to hear. You have lingered too long in the shadows of others, allowing their voices to drown out your own. their expectations to shape your path. But now you stand at a crossroads. The silence you have maintained, once an involuntary response to the overwhelming noise around you, must now be wielded with intention and precision. Your silence is not a void but a force, a tool to be sharpened and honed until it cuts through the cacophony of life with surgical precision. Consider the nature of silence in a world obsessed with noise. It is not merely the absence of sound, but a conscious decision to abstain from the frivolous exchange of words that often belies true intention. In your silence, you hold power, for it is the great equalizer in conversations where words are weapons. It is the pause that unsettles, the gap in expectation that forces others to reveal more than they intended. It is your strategic retreat, your vantage point from which to observe the battlefield of human interaction. To master the art of silence, you must first understand its psychological underpinnings. Silence is unsettling because it demands introspection, both from you and from those around you. It creates a space where truth can emerge, unencumbered by the distractions of superficial dialogue. In this silence, you find clarity, a rare commodity in a world that thrives on confusion and misdirection. It allows you to see the motives that drive others, to discern the insecurities they mask with bluster and bravado. But silence alone is not enough. It must be coupled with action, with a decisive strategy that propels you toward your goals. You must learn to balance silence with speech, to know when to break the quiet with words that are deliberate and impactful. Each word you choose must be a calculated move, like pieces on a chessboard, designed to advance your position, to unsettle your opponent, to shift the balance of power in your favor. This is the essence of Machiavellian strategy, the understanding that power is not given but taken, not spoken but demonstrated. It is about controlling the narrative, about ensuring that your silence speaks volumes, that it communicates strength, confidence, and resolve. It is about knowing when to be invisible and when to make your presence felt, about mastering the art of timing and patience. Imagine yourself as the eye of a storm, calm and composed while chaos swirls around you. This is the power of silence. It centers you, grounds you, allows you to see through the tempest to the heart of what truly matters. It is your inner sanctum, a place where you can reflect, recharge, and plan your next move with clarity and purpose. In this silence, you must cultivate a mindset of relentless focus and discipline. You must train yourself to listen deeply, to hear what is not said, to feel the undercurrents of emotion and intent that others miss. You must become a student of human nature, an observer of the subtle shifts in behavior that betray true intentions. This is your edge, your advantage in a world where most are content to skim the surface. The path you choose now will define your future. Will you continue to let others dictate the terms of your life? Or will you seize control, wielding your silence as a weapon of liberation? The choice is yours, and with it comes the responsibility to act, to decide, to move forward with purpose and conviction. So embrace your silence. Let it be your guide and your ally. Let it be the force that propels you beyond the noise, beyond the distractions, to a place of power and clarity. Let your silence be the loudest statement you make in a world that struggles to listen. This is your moment, your opportunity to rise above the fray, to assert your will and shape your destiny. The time for silence has come, and with it, your awakening. You have reached a pivotal moment, one where the choices you make will reverberate through every aspect of your existence. To wield silence with the deftness of a master strategist, you must first strip away the layers of complacency that have settled over you. These layers, formed by years of societal conditioning, have dulled your instinct for survival, your drive for dominance, and your hunger for self-determination. Now is the time to shed these restraints and embrace the raw, unfiltered truth of your potential. Silence, when wielded correctly, is not passive. It is an active force, a deliberate stance that commands respect and demands attention. Consider the power dynamics at play in every interaction. When you speak, you reveal your position, your thoughts, your vulnerabilities. But in silence, you create a vacuum, a space where others project their fears, their insecurities, their assumptions. This is where your power lies, in the ability to remain unfazed, unperturbed, while those around you scramble to fill the void of your silence. To harness this power, you must first understand the anatomy of influence. Influence is not merely about persuasion, it is about control. It is about bending the will of others to align with your own, not through coercion, but through the subtle manipulation of perception. Silence is your gateway to this realm of influence. It allows you to observe without interference, to absorb information without bias, to strategize without exposure. It is your fortress, impregnable and unassailable. In silence, you must cultivate an internal dialogue that is as sharp and incisive as any spoken word. You must learn to interrogate your own thoughts, to question your assumptions, to challenge the narratives that have been imposed upon you. This internal rigor will fortify your resolve, sharpen your instincts, and prepare you to act with precision when the time comes to break your silence. Yet, the path forward is fraught with challenges. The world will not easily relinquish its hold on you. It will tempt you with distractions, with empty promises of comfort and security. It will urge you to conform, to blend in, to silence your ambitions in favor of a quiet life. But you must resist. You must remain vigilant, steadfast in your commitment to rise above the noise, to reclaim the reins of your life. The true cost of inaction is stagnation. A life lived in the shadows of others is a life half-lived, a potential squandered. Every moment you delay, every opportunity you let slip through your fingers, is a step further from the person you are meant to become. The time has come to break free from the shackles of mediocrity, to forge a path that is uniquely your own. As you navigate this journey, remember that silence is both your sword and your shield. It is the tool that will carve your destiny, the armor that will protect you from the slings and arrows of a world that seeks to define you. Use it wisely, wield it skillfully, and let it be the foundation upon which you build a legacy of strength and resilience. This is your call to action, your moment to seize the power that lies within you. Let your silence be your declaration of independence, your refusal to be bound by the expectations of others. Embrace the clarity it brings, the strength it imbues, and the freedom it promises. The world is yours for the taking, if only you have the courage to reach out and claim it. Let your silence speak volumes. Let it echo through the corridors of power, and let it be the loudest testament to your unyielding spirit. This is your time, your revolution, your awakening. You stand now at the threshold of transformation, where the echoes of your silence are poised to redefine your existence. This is not a gentle awakening, but a jolt, a stark confrontation with the reality that has been simmering beneath the surface of your consciousness. It is the realization that power, true power, is not gifted, but seized. It is not a whisper of potential, but a roar of intent. The silence you cultivate must now evolve into a calculated force, one that propels you to act with deliberate precision. It is not enough to merely observe. You must engage, but on your terms. You have learned to read the landscape, to discern the undercurrents of influence and intent. Now, you must learn to navigate it with the deftness of a tactician. to position yourself not merely as a participant, but as a player who controls the board. In this realm, perception is reality. The image you project, the silence you maintain, the words you choose to speak, all these elements form the tapestry of your influence. You must craft this image with care, recognizing that every interaction is an opportunity to reinforce your power, to solidify your presence. Your silence is the brushstroke that adds depth and dimension to this image, creating an aura of mystery and strength that draws others in. Yet, with each step forward, you must be acutely aware of the forces that seek to undermine you. Complacency is the enemy of progress. It whispers lies of satisfaction, urging you to rest on the laurels of the past rather than striving for greater heights. You must remain vigilant, ever alert to the shifting dynamics around you. The silence you wield is not static, it is dynamic, a living force that adapts and evolves with the circumstances you face. As you hone this skill, remember that silence is not synonymous with passivity. It is not the absence of action, but the presence of control. It is the strategic pause before the decisive strike, the calm before the storm. It is the embodiment of restraint, the mastery of timing that allows you to act when the moment is ripe, when your actions will have the greatest impact. Reflect upon the cost of your journey thus far. Every sacrifice, every moment of doubt, every step into the unknown has brought you closer to this point. You have shed the illusions that once bound you, discarded the chains of expectation that sought to limit you. Now, you stand unencumbered, ready to forge a path that is uniquely your own. The silence you wield is both a weapon and a shield. It is the force that will carry you through the challenges ahead, the strength that will sustain you in moments of adversity. It is the quiet confidence that whispers of your potential, the unspoken promise of what is yet to come. The time has come to let your silence speak for you, to let it resonate through every action, every decision, every moment of your life. This is your legacy, your testament to the power of self-mastery and strategic intent. Let it be the force that defines you, the foundation upon which you build a future of your own making. So step forward with purpose, with conviction, with the unshakable belief that you are the architect of your destiny. Let the world hear the roar of your silence. Let it tremble before the force of your will, and let it bear witness to the awakening of a power that cannot be silenced. This is your moment, your revolution, your declaration of sovereignty. Embrace it, harness it, and let it propel you to heights you never imagined possible. You have embarked on a journey that demands more than mere courage. It requires an unwavering commitment to the cold, hard truth of your own potential. In a world clamoring for attention, your silence becomes a beacon, a testament to the inner strength that refuses to succumb to the chaos. It is this silence that now must transform into action, into a force that reshapes not only your own life, but the very fabric of the world around you. Consider the nature of influence. It is not a mere byproduct of position or authority, but a dynamic interplay of perception and reality. In your silence, you hold the power to shape this perception, to craft a narrative that aligns with your deepest ambitions. This is not about manipulation for manipulation's sake. It is about aligning the external world with your internal vision, about creating a reality that reflects your true self. To achieve this, you must embrace the duality of silence and speech. Your words, when chosen, must be arrows, striking with precision and purpose. They must be the culmination of your silent observation, the distilled essence of your strategic intent. Speak only when your words will alter the course of events, when they will shift the balance of power in your favor. Let every utterance carry the weight of your conviction, the clarity of your vision. But remember, the world is a complex tapestry of relationships and power dynamics. You must navigate these with finesse, understanding that every interaction is both an opportunity and a test. Your silence must be a shield, protecting you from the petty conflicts and distractions that seek to divert your focus. It must be the space in which you cultivate your inner strength, the sanctuary where you refine your strategy for influence and control. In this pursuit, you must also confront the internal voices that whisper doubt and fear. They are echoes of a past that sought to confine you, remnants of a conditioning that told you to stay small, to remain silent in the face of authority. But now, your silence is not submission, it is defiance. It is the resolute statement that you will not be defined by the limitations of others, that you will rise above the noise to claim your rightful place. Your journey will not be without resistance. Those who benefit from the status quo will seek to undermine you, to pull you back into the fold of conformity. They will challenge your silence, misinterpret it as weakness, and attempt to provoke you into breaking it. But you must hold firm, secure in the knowledge that your silence is your strength, your most potent weapon in a world that underestimates its power. As you move forward, let your silence be the foundation upon which you build a legacy of influence and impact. It is the quiet force that will propel you through adversity, the unyielding resolve that will drive you to achieve the impossible. Let it be the testament to your resilience, the proof of your unwavering commitment to your own truth. This is your path, your destiny, your call to greatness. Embrace it with the full force of your being, and let your silence speak volumes in a world that has forgotten how to listen. The power is yours to claim, the future yours to shape. Stand tall. Let your silence be your guide, and let it echo through the annals of time as the defining force of your life. Your revolution has begun, and with it, the awakening of a power that cannot and will not be silenced. You have come to understand that the silence you wield is a double-edged sword, a tool of immense power that can carve out your destiny or cut you down if misused. It is a force that must be respected, honed, and employed with the utmost precision. This realization is the foundation upon which you will build your future. A future not dictated by the whims of others, but shaped by your own indomitable will. The silence you embrace is not an end, but a beginning. It is the fertile ground from which your aspirations will grow, the crucible in which your ambitions will be tested and refined. In silence, you find the clarity to discern what truly matters, to separate the signal from the noise, to focus your energies on what will propel you forward. It is the place where your vision crystallizes, where the fog of indecision clears and reveals the path that lies ahead. But mere vision is not enough. You must accompany it with action, with a relentless drive to transform the intangible into reality. Your silence provides the space for planning, for strategizing, for calculating each step with the precision of a master chess player. In this silence, you become the architect of your own fate, designing a life that aligns with your deepest values, your highest goals. Consider the power dynamics that govern the world around you. They are not static, but fluid, shaped by the interplay of forces, both seen and unseen. You must learn to read these dynamics, to anticipate the movements of others, to position yourself advantageously within this ever-shifting landscape. Your silence, once a passive stance, becomes an active engagement with these forces, a means of exerting influence without overt confrontation. This requires a deep understanding of human nature, of the motivations that drive others, the insecurities that bind them, the desires that propel them forward. In silence, you become a student of these intricacies, a keen observer of the subtleties that escape the notice of those consumed by the noise. You learn to leverage this knowledge, to use it as a tool for navigating the complex web of relationships and power structures that define your world. Yet, As you navigate this path, you must also remain grounded in your own truth. The silence you wield should not disconnect you from the essence of who you are. Rather, it should be a conduit for expressing your authentic self, for living in accordance with your principles and ideals. It is the means by which you remain true to your core, even as you adapt and evolve in response to the demands of the world around you. In this pursuit, you will encounter resistance, both from within and without. The world is not kind to those who challenge its paradigms, who refuse to be confined by its limitations. But you must stand firm, confident in the strength of your silence, in the power of your convictions. You must resist the temptation to abandon your path in favor of the easy, the familiar, the safe. Your silence must be a beacon, a guiding light that illuminates the way forward, even in the darkest of times. It is the anchor that grounds you, the compass that directs you, the unwavering force that propels you toward the fulfillment of your potential. Embrace it, harness it, and let it be the foundation upon which you build a life of purpose, influence, and impact. This is your moment to rise above the clamor, to let your silence speak louder than the voices that seek to drown you out. It is your opportunity to assert your sovereignty, to claim the power that lies within you, to shape a future that reflects the truth of who you are. Stand resolute. Let your silence resonate, and let it carry you to the heights of your own making. The world is yours to conquer, if only you have the courage to let your silence lead the way. The silence you command is not a void, but a force of nature, a presence that fills the spaces others leave empty. It is a statement of intent, a declaration that you will not be swayed by the transient whims of those around you. In your silence, you cultivate a strength that is unassailable, a resolve that is forged in the crucible of introspection and self-awareness. This strength is not born out of defiance alone, but from a deep understanding of the world and your place within it. It is the recognition that true power lies not in the volume of your voice, but in the clarity of your vision. It is the ability to see beyond the immediate, to anticipate the long-term consequences of your actions, to navigate the complexities of life with a strategic mind and a steady hand. In silence, you find the space to listen, to truly hear what others cannot. You become attuned to the subtleties of language, the nuances of expression, the unspoken truths that reveal more than words ever could put. This is your advantage, the edge that sets you apart in a world that has forgotten the value of listening. You understand that knowledge is power, and the deepest knowledge often lies hidden within the silences between words. But knowledge alone is not enough. You must transform this understanding into action, into a force that shapes your reality. Your silence becomes a catalyst for change, the spark that ignites your ambitions and propels you toward your goals. It is the quiet determination that drives you to persevere in the face of adversity, to push beyond the limitations imposed by others, to strive for excellence in all that you do. As you wield this power, you must remain ever vigilant. The world is rife with distractions, with forces that seek to divert you from your path. They will tempt you with comfort, with the illusion of ease, with the false promise of security. But you must stay true to your course, guided by the clarity that only silence can provide. You must resist the siren call of mediocrity, the lure of the familiar, the safety of the known. Your silence is your ally, your most trusted companion on this journey. It is the shield that protects you from the chaos of the outside world, the armor that deflects the arrows of doubt and fear. It is the space in which you cultivate your inner strength, the sanctuary where you refine your strategy and hone your skills. In silence, you find the courage to stand alone, to walk your own path, to carve out your own destiny. This is the essence of true power, the ability to remain unshaken in the face of uncertainty, to maintain your composure even as the world around you shifts and changes. It is the confidence that comes from knowing yourself, from understanding your strengths and weaknesses, from embracing your potential and striving to fulfill it. It is the quiet assurance that you are in control, that you are the master of your own fate. As you continue on this path, let your silence be the guiding force that leads you to greatness. Let it be the beacon that illuminates your way, the foundation upon which you build a life of purpose and impact. Embrace it, cherish it, and let it propel you to heights you never imagined possible. The world is watching, waiting to see what you will do with the power you hold. It is your choice, your responsibility, your privilege to shape your destiny. Stand firm. Let your silence speak for you, and let it echo through the ages as the defining force of your life. This is your moment, your opportunity, your time to shine. Embrace it, harness it, and let your silence be the loudest voice in a world that strains to listen. In the midst of your silent revolution, you must remain acutely aware of the terrain you navigate. This landscape is not a static entity, but a living, breathing organism that shifts with every whisper, every ripple of intent. Your silence, therefore, must be adaptable, a fluid strategy that evolves with the circumstances you encounter. It is not enough to stand firm. You must be prepared to move with the tides of change, to seize opportunities as they arise, to pivot when necessary without losing sight of your overarching goals. Consider the nature of your opponents, not merely those who stand in direct opposition to you, but the insidious forces of doubt and complacency that threaten to undermine your resolve from within. These are the true adversaries, the internal dialogues that whisper of inadequacy, the shadows of past failures that linger on the periphery of your consciousness. Your silence must be a fortress against these intrusions, an unbreakable barrier that shields your mind from the corrosive effects of self-doubt. As you cultivate this inner strength, remember that silence is not synonymous with solitude. While it is a personal journey, it does not preclude the presence of allies, mentors, and confidants who can provide guidance and support. Choose these companions wisely, for they will be the ones who reinforce your silence, who understand the power it holds, who respect it as a strategic choice rather than a passive stance. Together, you form a coalition of strength, a network of influence that amplifies your impact. In this strategic alliance, your silence becomes a shared language, a mutual understanding that transcends the need for constant communication. It is a bond forged in the crucible of shared values and common goals, a testament to the power of collective intent. Yet, even within this alliance, you must maintain your autonomy, ensuring that your silence remains your own, a personal commitment to your path and your purpose. This path you walk is not without its trials, and the silence you wield must be tempered by resilience. There will be moments of doubt, periods of stagnation, times when the noise of the world threatens to break through your defenses. In these moments, you must draw strength from your silence, from the inner reservoir of resolve that it nurtures. It is the anchor that holds you steady, the compass that guides you through the storm. As you continue to harness the power of your silence, let it be a beacon that attracts rather than repels. Those who recognize its strength will be drawn to it, seeking to understand the source of your calm, the secret of your influence. In engaging with these individuals, you have the opportunity to extend your impact, to plant the seeds of your ideals, to inspire others to cultivate their own silence. This is not a call to proselytize, but a recognition that true influence is often exercised indirectly, through the example you set, the integrity you embody, the consistency with which you pursue your vision. By living your truth, By letting your silence speak for you, you create a ripple effect that extends beyond your immediate sphere, touching the lives of those you may never meet, influencing the course of events in ways you cannot anticipate. In this, your silence becomes more than a personal strategy. It becomes a legacy, a lasting testament to the power of self-mastery and intentional living. It is the quiet revolution that transforms not only your life, but the world around you, one deliberate action at a time. So continue to walk this path with conviction, with purpose, with the unshakable belief that you are the architect of your destiny. Let your silence be the foundation upon which you build a life of meaning and impact, a life that resonates with the truth of who you are. Embrace it, nurture it, and let it guide you to the heights of your potential. The world awaits your revolution, the transformation that only you can bring. Stand firm, and let your silence be the catalyst for change. In the unfolding journey of mastering silence as your strategic ally, you must now confront the subtleties of power dynamics that course through every interaction and relationship. Power is not a monolith, it is a multifaceted entity, shifting and transforming with the ebb and flow of human behavior. Your silence, therefore, must be as nuanced as the forces you seek to navigate and influence. Imagine power as a current, an invisible force that moves through the channels of society, shaping destinies and forging paths. Most people are swept along by this current, unaware of its presence or its impact. But you, with your cultivated silence, have the vantage point to perceive its flow, to understand its direction, and to position yourself accordingly. Your silence is the lens through which you observe these currents, the tool that allows you to discern the underlying motivations and intentions of those around you. In this realm of power, perception is your greatest asset, the ability to see what others cannot, to hear the unspoken fears and desires that drive their actions, is what distinguishes you from the rest. Your silence is a canvas upon which others paint their expectations, their projections, their insecurities. By maintaining this silence, you gain clarity, a deeper understanding of the dynamics at play, and thus the ability to influence outcomes without overt action. Yet, the mastery of silence requires more than passive observation. It demands a proactive engagement with the world, a willingness to step into the fray when the moment is right. This is the art of timing, the ability to strike when the iron is hot, to speak when your words will resonate with the greatest force. Your silence is the pause that heightens the impact of your speech, the tension that precedes the release, the calm before the storm. In this delicate dance of silence and speech, you must also cultivate patience. The path to influence is not a sprint but a marathon, a long game that requires endurance and steadfast resolve. There will be moments of frustration, times when progress seems elusive, when the noise of the world threatens to drown out the quiet certainty of your purpose. In these times, your silence is your refuge, the sanctuary where you can regroup, refocus, and re-emerge with renewed determination. Patience does not mean passivity. It is an active state, a conscious choice to bide your time, to wait for the opportune moment to act. It is the recognition that not all battles must be fought, that sometimes the greatest victory lies in restraint. Your silence is the embodiment of this principle, the strategic reserve of energy that you can draw upon when needed, the quiet strength that sustains you through the trials of the journey. As you continue to cultivate this silence, let it be a source of inspiration, a wellspring of creativity and innovation. In the quietude of your mind, free from the distractions of the external world, you have the space to dream, to imagine, to conceive of possibilities that others overlook. Your silence is the fertile ground from which new ideas emerge, the incubator of potential that can transform not only your life but the world around you. This is the power of silence, its ability to create, to sustain, to renew. It is the force that propels you forward, that elevates you above the fray, that positions you as a leader in a world desperate for direction. By embracing this power, by letting your silence speak louder than words, you set yourself apart as a force to be reckoned with, an individual who commands respect and admiration. So continue to walk this path with intention and purpose. Let your silence be the guiding force that shapes your journey, the beacon that illuminates your way, the foundation upon which you build a life of influence and impact. Stand firm in your commitment to this path, and let your silence be the testament to the power of self-mastery and strategic vision. The world is yours for the taking, if only you have the courage to let your silence lead the way. As you advance ever deeper into the world of strategic silence, you must confront the paradoxes that come with wielding such a potent tool. Silence, in its purest form, is absence, an absence of noise, of immediate reaction, of superficial engagement. Yet, within this absence lies the potential for presence, a profound and commanding presence that shapes perceptions and influences outcomes far more effectively than a cacophony of words ever could. This presence is cultivated not through grand gestures or loud declarations, but through the subtlety of your actions, the precision of your choices, and the consistency of your principles. In silence, every movement, every decision you make is magnified, scrutinized, and interpreted by those around you. Your silence becomes a mirror, reflecting not only your intentions, but also exposing the true nature of those who engage with you. It is a tool for revelation, a method of stripping away the veneer of civility to reveal the core motivations that drive human behavior. In this strategic landscape, your silence must be both shield and sword. It is the armor that protects you from the slings and arrows of a world eager to undermine your resolve. It is the boundary that guards your inner sanctum, preserving the sanctity of your thoughts and the clarity of your purpose. Yet, it is also the weapon with which you cut through the noise, the blade that slices through the fog of misinformation and distraction to reveal the path forward. To wield silence effectively, you must develop an acute awareness of the rhythms of interaction, the ebb and flow of dialogue and discourse. You must learn to recognize the moments when silence will serve you best, when it will amplify your presence and enhance your influence. These are the moments when the world holds its breath, waiting for you to speak, to act, to reveal the next move in the intricate dance of power and control. But silence alone is not enough. It must be coupled with action, with the courage to step into the breach when the time is right. Your silence is the prelude to action, the harbinger of change, the signal that something significant is about to unfold. When you do choose to break your silence, your words must carry the weight of your intention, the force of your conviction, the clarity of your vision. This is the essence of strategic engagement, the ability to balance silence and speech, presence and absence, restraint and action. It is the understanding that true power lies not in the noise you can create, but in the silence you can command. Not in the volume of your voice, but in the impact of your actions. In mastering this balance, you position yourself as a leader, a visionary, a force to be reckoned with in a world that so desperately needs direction. As you walk this path, let your silence be a source of inspiration and innovation. Use it to cultivate new ideas, to explore new possibilities, to forge new paths that others cannot see. Let it be the crucible in which your ambitions are tested and refined, the forge in which your resolve is tempered and strengthened. And remember, the greatest leaders are those who understand the power of silence, who know when to listen, when to speak, and when to act. They are those who create space for others to grow, who use their silence to empower and uplift, who understand that true influence is measured not by the control they exert, but by the legacy they leave behind. So continue to embrace your silence, to wield it with precision and purpose. Let it be the guiding force that shapes your journey, the foundation upon which you build a life of meaning and impact. Stand firm in your commitment to this path, and let your silence be the loudest testament to the power of strategic mastery. The world awaits your influence, your vision, your leadership. Embrace it, harness it, and let your silence be the force that propels you to greatness. In the vast theater of human interaction, your silence is not merely a personal choice. It is a strategic maneuver, a calculated decision that elevates you above the din of impulsive reactions and unfiltered speech. As you immerse yourself deeper into this philosophy, you must recognize that silence, when wielded correctly, is not passive, but profoundly active. It is the embodiment of control, the mastery over oneself and one's environment. This control is the bedrock upon which all influence is built. It is the ability to dictate the terms of engagement, to set the pace of interaction, to hold sway over the rhythm of discourse. In silence, you become a conductor of the symphony around you, guiding the tempo, orchestrating the dynamics, ensuring that every note, every action, every word is perfectly timed to achieve maximum impact. The silence you embrace is a strategy of anticipation. You must learn to read the signals in the chaos, to discern the patterns in the noise, to anticipate the moves of others before they themselves are aware of them. This foresight is your edge, a competitive advantage that places you several steps ahead of those who are content to react rather than anticipate. Silence affords you the space and the time to plan, to strategize, to ensure that when you do decide to act, your actions are decisive and effective. In this strategic silence, you cultivate patience, a quality often underestimated in its power and potential. Patience is not weakness, it is strength restrained, a force held in reserve, ready to be unleashed when the occasion demands. It is the ability to wait for the right moment, the opportune time when your actions will have the greatest effect, when the tides of fortune are aligned in your favor. In this waiting, your silence speaks volumes, signaling to the world that you are not in a rush, that you are in control, and that you will act when you are ready, not when you are compelled by outside forces. As you refine your approach, consider the scope of your influence. Your silence should not only serve your personal ambitions, but also extend to the broader context in which you operate. It should be a catalyst for change, a force for transformation, a beacon of stability. In a world that is often chaotic and unpredictable, your silence becomes a model for others, a demonstration of what can be achieved through restraint, reflection, and deliberate action. To maintain this level of influence requires an unwavering commitment to your principles, a steadfast adherence to your values. Your silence must be rooted in authenticity, in the truth of who you are and what you stand for. It must be a reflection of your integrity, a testament to your character. In this, your silence becomes unassailable, immune to the criticisms and doubts of those who do not understand its power. Yet, the path of silence is not without its challenges. There will be those who question your motives, who misinterpret your restraint as indecision or fear. They will seek to provoke you, to draw you into the fray, to entangle you in the very chaos you seek to rise above. In these moments, you must remain resolute, confident in the strength of your silence, secure in the knowledge that your path is not for the faint of heart, but for those who are truly committed to mastery. As you continue to navigate this journey, let your silence be the force that propels you forward, that guides you through the complexities of life with clarity and purpose. Let it be the foundation upon which you build a legacy of influence and impact, a testament to the power of strategic intent and disciplined action. The world is watching, waiting to see what you will do with the power you hold. It is your choice, your responsibility, your privilege to shape your destiny. Stand firm. Let your silence speak for you, and let it echo through the ages as the defining force of your life. This is your moment, your opportunity, your time to shine. Embrace it, harness it, and let your silence be the loudest voice in a world that strains to listen.